lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody into Sim Racing Media. Tonight, the drivers of the Racers Elite Superspeedway Series jump into the Gen 4 car as they get ready for some heart-pounding action here at Daytona International Speedway. The 2.5-mile tri-oval is the place where we are going to start tonight. As these guys get ready to roll off, we take a look back at last week's race where we were Motor Speedway. Billy Hensley was able to bring home the victory. Only led 18 laps. Brandon Honeycutt with the heartbreaker led 52, but had to settle for 6. Kirby Wainscott up there on the podium with Chris Lobby. And that is the race results. The standings. Richard Ode, Kirby Wainscott, and Brandon Honeycutt are the drivers who have made the most of the opportunity, showing up to all 3 of the races, separated by a mere 4 points from first to third here. So that is where we start tonight as we get ready to roll off into qualifying. Let's get this going here as they are out on track now. Jump on board here with Brer LaPratt as he makes his qualifying bid. Like Truth Hoke is a little bit further into his lap in that 55 Wrangler machine here. About halfway down. Eric Dodd just coming to the start-finish line. We'll see what he can do as he comes through that tri-oval. Dodd up there with a 48.52. Truth Hoke getting ready to head that tri-oval as well. These guys are on a little bit older track here, the 2008 version of this Daytona International Speedway. So before they did the repave and such. A 49.11 there for Truth Hoke. Brian LaPratt coming through 3 and 4, headed towards that tri-oval as well. That's going to put him 48.85 P3 right now. Eric Dodd back to the top of the board with the 48.32. Garrett Michael 48.34. Truth Hoke going to finish his second hot lap here. See what he can do. Top of the board, 48.31 for Truth in that 55 machine. The 101 of Brian LaPratt coming through 3 and 4 now, headed towards that tri-oval. It's that start-finish line, and the time for LaPratt, 48.18. Almost 2/10 faster than the fastest guy on track. Kirby Wayne's got in the 10 machine as he's getting ready to roll through here. First lap for Wayne Scott was a 48.92. Haven't talked to him in a while. Was able to talk to Kirby after he made his podium there. Coming to the start-finish line for Wayne Scott. 48.26 P2 there for Wayne Scott. Brandon Honeycutt said led a lot of laps last week. See what he can do in this PALS machine here. And if you guys like this old track of Daytona, get ready after these guys come back from the break. They're off the next couple weeks because of the night race and such. They will be in the 87s going around Talladega. So see what they can do. A second lap there for Brandon Honeycutt of 48.46 is not what he wanted. Like I missed newcomer to the race, James Pandolf. He's up there with a 48.27, good enough for P3. And looking at the entry board, we are not going to have a repeat winner from what I'm seeing here. Looks like we are going to have a first-time winner tonight. As looks like Billy Hensley and Kinsley Smith are both out this evening. Andrew Teft rolling through, about halfway done. We'll jump over to Richard Ode, current points leader. As he is coming through the tri-oval, about ready to hit that start-finish line here. and he will go 49.26. See the driver of that 78 jump down to the low line, trying to get more speed in that ride. He comes back through the tri-oval, crossing pit entry now. See where that puts him. P2, 48.22. Andrew Teft in that 98 Chevy. See what he can do. 48.24. Got about 2 minutes left here in qualifying. Well, it looks like he is just sitting there on the end of pit road, been sitting there for quite a while. Right now, looks like with about a minute left in qualifying, we got Paul Hurst, Matt Metler, Terry Fennell, Robert Gillard, and Nicholas Falsetta, and Chris Blasi, Alex Teft, all yet to make a qualifying bid, which they didn't start then. They're not going to get to now, as it's about 49 seconds around for that first warm-up lap. So that's going to get Brian LaPratte on the pole. So here we go. About 10 seconds left. We are set for 100 laps tonight. Take a look here at the weather. Well, not too bad for a track temperature, under 90, so going to be a nice day for racing here. Got 16 drivers set to take part in this 100 lap deal here. Let's get zoomed in here on some of these rides once I get in. So we got Brian LaPratte going to be starting on the pole once again, AMS Oil Machine. Richard O just to his outside. Go back to Andrew Teft with Kirby Wayne Scott. James Pandolf and Truth Hope going to roll off row 3. Row 4, Eric Dodd and Garrett Michael. We got Brandon Honeycutt and Chris Blasi. Terry Fennell and Matt Metler in that 311 machine. Robert Gillard and Paul Hurst going to roll off row 7. And rounding out the field in row 8, Nicholas Falsetta and Alex Teft. So here we go. Brian LaPratt on the front row, looking to lead this thing from start to hopefully being up front at the finish here. Head down the back stretch. Like I said, it's a 2.5 mile tri-oval, turns banked at 31 degrees, variable 18, back straight 3 degrees. So these guys are going to be getting more and more speed, especially in these Gen 4 machines. Got to watch the start here. They get rolling. These guys should be set for some side-by-side action in these Gen 4s. Pace car is in, and Brian LaPratt has the field. Green flag racing here. Outside lane had a little issue getting going there with the start, but they are back to racing. Pandolf goes to the high side of Andrew Teff. Side by side they go off into turn number 1. LaPratt with the lead, headed down the backstretch. You see the Pals machine go from the inside to the outside, slides up in front of Kirby Wayne Scott, and that is Brandon Honeycutt. Honeycutt trying to make the most of the start, gives a little bump to Pandolf, sends him off into the lead. Like these Gen 4s are a little bit dicey here, especially after driving the next gens last week. Like they're 2 and 3 wide towards the back there. Pandolf on the high side, LaPratt on the bottom. Honeycutt giving a shove, and they are going to go 1-2 here. Pandolf goes down to the inside, leaves Brandon Honeycutt up there all by himself, and it looks like LaPratt gets a little loose, slides up the track just enough as you see him bouncing through the corners here. Like I said, this is the 2008 version of the Daytona Speedway. So you see the bumps. They kind of went back and fixed those a little bit in the new setup as they bounce off of each other, does Honeycutt and LaPratt. Honeycutt still on the high side, almost just by himself. Looks like Garrett Michaels up there now with him in that 63 machine. But that bottom side, Pandolf, LaPratt, Teft, and Wayne Scott. Chris Blasey up to the high side, third on the top. You got the 50 of Terry Fennell bouncing off the wall there as they were coming out of turn number 3, headed down the backstretch. Honeycutt leading them for the moment. Pandolf trying to battle back on the bottom there. Side by side they go. And we are 3 laps in here. And these guys are not showing any signs of single filing out or logging some laps, so to say. Honeycutt's got about a car length on the bottom side, loses it as they come through the corner. We'll see if he can gain more momentum as he comes out of the corner down the back stretch. Honeycutt and Garrett Michael are now pushing past Pandolf. But Pandolf got a big shove there from the 101 of LaPratt, and he will send Pandolf back to the front. Two by two on the front row. Andrew Teff back there in third on the bottom. Now he has Chris Blasey closing that gap. Got Wayne Scott and Fennell side by side as well there for four rows deep. On 76 of Paul Hurst, Eric Dodd, Matt Metler, like Falsetta, down on that bottom side as well. .45 goes up to the top side of the Pass Pro Shop's 45. He's going to fill that gap. But up front, it's still Honeycutt, Pandolf, Michael, and LaPratte. Honeycutt and Michael pushing out to a lead. Looks like Honeycutt was thinking Michael was going to slide down with him and they were going to be able to get in front of Pandolf there, but nothing doing there. And see these cars get a little loose as they come through the bumps on 1 and 2 as they head down the backstretch. And it looks like Falsetta and the 27 machine bounce off the wall just a little bit. The 45 slides up in front of him and droids back down to the bottom. He pulls down in front of Metler. Metler had to take a little bit of evasive action there to avoid the bumper there of the 27 machine. Getting a little dicey back here in the back as people are going inside, outside, trying to keep their runs here. But Honeycutt and Pandolf are still leading this race 8 laps in. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, you guys are the ones that get us to, or allow us to do what we do here. And Michael still, when they come through turn entry, it's almost like they were able to have enough to clear and get down to that bottom side, but as they get about halfway through the corner, the bottom line just comes and they're able to fight it off there as Pandolf and Garrett Michael are side by side. Andrew Teff jumped up to the high side, got tired of playing third fiddle on the bottom. Not sure what happened to Truth Oak. He made a qualifying bid and was up towards the front of the field, but it looks like he has not made his way. To the track, Richard Ode started on the front row, had some technical difficulties, but it looks like he is back on track. He is about 5 laps down at the moment. That top side was able to get down and clear, but now Honeycutt and Michael are down on the bottom in front of Pandolf. And Andrew Teff leading the outside line now has Chris Blasi, Terry Fennell back there with him. Looks like they're starting to make a move, get about even now with P2, and that is Garrett Michael. So Andrew Teff, Garrett Michael side by side. Brandon Honeycutt still leading the race. You see these guys bouncing around a little bit here. Let's see if we can go on board here with Blasi and see how close he gets this filter time. Number 11 machine to the back of Andrew Teff to push him out towards the front, as they are side by side for the lead almost. Lost a little bit of ground there coming through 1 and 2, but down the backstretch he's going to gain it right back and get right to that rear bumper and see if he can give this General Tires Racers Elite machine a little bump to get out in front, and he will do just that. Andrew Teff's going to take the lead for a moment, but Blasi loses a little bit of ground. And that also causes Andrew Teff to fade back, and it looks like we have a driver in the wall. It looks like that's the 76 machine of Paul Hurst. Paul Hurst got a little loose, went sliding by the wall, and that's going to wind up putting him in a bad predicament there. Go back towards the front, and it looks like everybody's kind of making some moves here after getting shuffled towards the back here. We got Pandolf and LaPratt running third and fourth on that bottom side. Matt Medler up a couple spots as he's trying to become the biggest mover of the race. He's going to have to do a little bit better as Brandon Honeycutt's up 8 spots, Garrett Michael up 6. But they definitely are on the move here. There goes Richard Ode. Saw him getting ready to come through the turn number 1, and here they go one more time. Said it looks like, yeah, the 45 machine lost the draft. The 76 also lost the draft after that little bit of shakeup there. Alex Teff was able to still hang on here. And Nicholas Falsetta also hanging on. They are still battling it hot and heavy side by side. They're going to have to make a little bit of a decision here. It looks like the 78 was trying to stay out of the way, and he will do just that. He stays down below that yellow line, stays off the track, allows the leaders to get by. Brandon Honeycutt and Garrett Michael were hooked up pretty tight there. James Pandolf trying to figure out where he can go. It doesn't look like he is very happy sitting there in third. Got Kirby Wainscott behind him. The 101 machine back there as well. If we can go on board with Pandolf. Booty Ranger does sound like a good plan there. Trying to get back up into P3. You can just see how much the bumps bump this thing around. We'll go inside the cockpit here. Jump over to Andrew Teff. You'll see it up here as well. Come through the corner. Watch how much wheel they have to hold on to here. They bounce around. Everybody trying to keep the wheel as straight as possible. Honeycutt still with the lead. Teff battling back on the outside. Got 3 drivers up on the high side trying to make that work. It's going to be Andrew Teff, Chris Blasi, and Eric Dodd. Drivers on the bottom. Brendan Honeycutt, Garrett Michael, and James Pandolf are the top 3 down there. Then everybody else kind of single files out just a little bit. Looked like the 101 of Brian LaPratte pulls out and goes to the high side. He was trying to get some more momentum. Matt Mettler down on the bottom. This Gen 4 car is basically a mistake that came out for iRacing. It's the basically the same car of the Harkin Menard series, but they kicked it up to a 358 cubic inch V8 engine with 725 horsepower. So these guys definitely know how to use it, and they are putting it to work here. You can see them going inside, outside, all over the track. That outside line got Chook up there. Andrew Teft is up there basically by himself. He's got about 3 car lengths back to Chris Blasi, so he's going to probably try and get down to the bottom as they're getting closer to that pit window. Pandolf able to make the pass after jumping up to the high side. He goes back to the lead. Honeycutt drives down. Pandolf pushes him down below that yellow line. Pandolf stuck in the sucker hole, and he is going to go backwards as Mettler goes up to the high side. And they are 3-4 wide towards the back. Eric Dodd into the wall. Chris Blasi stuck in the sucker hole going backwards as well. And they are all fading here after that incident. The driver sitting in probably one of the better spots for that was Andrew Teft, as he saw everybody go every direction and decided to just back out of it, let them see if they were going to wreck. And they did not, but he's still on the lead lap. He's still within the drafting range here. He's got Falsetta and Alex Teft back there as well. Matt Mettler up on the high side all by himself after giving a push there to Pandolf to get to the lead, and now he will fall in line. So now we are pretty single filed out after that little incident there, and just as I say that, looks like Pandolf and Mettler go to the high side, trying to get a little bit more action here. They're side by side, second and third. Honeycutt, Pandolf, Mettler, and Garrett Michael. 24 laps into a 100-lap race. They are moving inside, outside, back and forth they go. Brian LaPratte sitting back there in 5th position, wondering what he's going to do here. He's going to stay down on the bottom and try and stay out of trouble if these guys get a little too aggressive here. Running 25 laps. at the moment. Now Pandolf's going a little bit backwards. Matt Metler not quite able to push him up to the front, but Eric Dodd is closing in on that high side. Pandolf Metler back towards the front. Honeycutt not giving up though, and he's got Garrett Michael back to pushing him as well. Eric Dodd, Brian LaPratte, third on the top and bottom. Eric Dodd just ran the fastest lap of the race with a 45.39, 26 laps in, and we are still rolling here. The top 9 drivers are in this group. We've got another group back there with Alex and Andrew. Falsetta back there a little ways as well. These guys can get hooked up. They can start to close the gap. No, these guys will probably have to make at least one pit stop. These 3 guys have hooked up as well. Large, First, and Oak. Looks like Pandolf Metler almost got into that wall. Metler looks like he probably did. He is bouncing all over the track as well, not handling those bumps as well as he did before. Side by side up front, first 3 rows. Got Terry Fennell, Kirby Wainscott, Chris Blasi all on the bottom side. Pandolf getting a little loose there. Only 3 drivers staying up on that top side. That's Pandolf, Metler, and Dodd. Complete lap 29, this time by at the stripe. Pandolf with the lead. Honeycutt battling back on the bottom. Still side by side. Nicholas Falsetta headed into the pit lane. The pit stop should be coming any moment now, from what it looks like. But these guys will be able to drive a couple more laps, but they've been racing pretty hard, so we'll have to see if that's going to have any bearing on this race. And if they do have to come in within the next couple laps, that is going to be interesting to see how that works out, because we're on lap 30. So if they can't make it another 4 laps or so, they're going to have to come down 2 more times instead of just this one and the next. But with that being said, we're going to step aside right now. We are 30 laps completed here in the Racers Elite Super Speedway Series. We won't miss anything as we go side by side. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Racers Elite Super Speedway Series at 2008 Daytona in the Gen 4 cars. I'm Mike Maloney up in the booth. Thanks for joining us, as always. 35 laps in, and you just saw pit stops, and it looked like we had a little incident there. It looks like maybe Alex Steff missed his pit box, but a little bit of a shakeup on the front side. That also looks like Brandon Honeycutt had an issue coming through pit lane, so he is off the pace as well. James Pandolf, Matt Metler, and Eric Dodd trying to work past Garrett Michael on the bottom side. Metler pulls down in front, allows Pandolf to slide on in as well. With that being said, let's see if we can maybe take a look here, see what happened with Brandon Honeycutt. Guys are settled down. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Oh, coming in hot. So unsafe pit entry looked like what it was as he sit in his box for 56 seconds. So panned off to the front once again. We got panned off Mettler, Blasi, Garrett Michael, Eric Dodd, Kirby Wayne Scott, all in this lead group here. And Brandon Honeycutt stuck in a spot he didn't want to be in. As like he's going to go a lap down as Garrett Michael thought about jumping up behind him, but went back and got behind Blasi there. As they are 1, 2, 3, 4 now. Honeycutt trying to grab onto the tail end here. Like, no. That's Kirby Wayne Scott. Honeycutt was trying to grab onto the back there. It looks like Garrett Michael pulls up behind Chris Blasi as they're going to try and go the high side and get back to the front. He was running there quite a bit earlier in the run. He just was 4th and 5th on that high line, but now he is leading it towards the front. Garrett Michael has been a good pusher all night. He was able to push Brandon Honeycutt up to the lead and keep him up front. Honeycutt is back behind him a couple cars, but he is a lap down. Honeycutt sitting in the right position here. If something were to happen, he is that lucky dog. He'll get his lap back if there was anything to happen. Garrett Michael, Chris Blasi pulled down behind Pandolf. I'm not sure what happened to Mettler, as Mettler all of a sudden has faded off here as well. We got Chris Blasi leading them. Garrett Michael giving him a shove. Pandolf 3rd deep on the bottom. Eric Dodd trying to lead the race from the high side. Has Brandon Honeycutt, who is a lap down, but he is definitely not a guy that's going to stay there very long as well. Trying to get his lap back the hard way. The 27 machine of Nicholas Falsetta just ran a 45.33, and he is the car on the bottom of this tail group here. He is a lap down as well. So Honeycutt and Falsetta battling back and forth to see who is going to get that lucky dog. Eric Dodd out to the lead for a moment. Blasi battling back on the bottom. Eleven cars on the lead lap here in the Racers Elite Superspeedway Series. Guys are off, like I said, the next couple weeks, but they are putting on a race on Saturday, August 24th in the Next Gen Series Firecracker 250. So another 100 laps here, but it'll be in the Next Gen, so we'll see how they can handle that when they get rolling. Updated car, updated track, and 100 laps still the distance. Blasi jumps down. They're still down on the bottom, trying to get back out to the front. Eric Dodd trying to hold off on the high side. Brandon Honeycutt trying to stay up here in the lucky dog position. Still leading here. Though the cars have changed on the front, the action has not. Blasi got a little loose there. Garrett Michael goes to the middle, and he's trying to avoid calamity. 3 wide through the tri-oval. Garrett Michael stuck in the middle, trying to figure out where he can go. Eric Dodd getting pushed out to the front. Garrett Michael still hanging on, and looks like we're almost having calamity here. And calamity and disaster is averted. Garrett Michael able to get down. Looked like Brandon Honeycutt was trying to figure out what he was going to do. He didn't want to get touched at all, and it looks like he went off the wall, so he lost a little bit of ground. Eric Dodd as well tried to stay out of the way. He didn't want to get turned, as it looked like he was about ready to get clipped in the left rear quarter. Pandolf and Garrett Michael jump up. Oh, I was to say Pandolf and Garrett Michael jump up to the high side. Pandolf jumps right back down, gets behind Blasi. Garrett Michael going to lead that high side. Eric Dodd behind him. So Blasi and Michael leading the race. Side by side they go. Ooh, looks like Pandolf got a little loose there coming through the bumps. Those bumps are playing some major, having a major role here in this race, as everybody's kind of bouncing around, not able to keep their car as straight as they want to. 47 laps in. Looks like we've got a couple guys out of the race. Richard O, our points leader, parked it after spending an extended amount of time on pit lane. Ruth Oak also out. Honeycutt and Falsetta battling here for the lucky dog position. Robert Gillard is also here as well. Got this group battling back here. Andrew and Alex Teft. .45, a couple laps down. Battling pretty hard here. That fast tracker machine. Andrew and Alex trying to get hooked up, trying to close in, maybe get the next group that's in front of him, and that's going to be Mettler, LaPratt, and Fennell. They're 24 seconds back of Wayne Scott and that lead group after that pit stops and everything happened there. Getting ready to go to the halfway point here. They're still battling up here. We've got 5 drivers here on the lead lap. A couple lap cars hanging out as well. Battle for that lucky dog position is getting a little hot here as well, as they are now nose to tail at the moment. Garrett Michael stays up high, has Eric Dodd with him. Blasi and Pandolf leading that bottom line. Pandolf almost gets a little touch there from Michael as they both slide into the middle. They're going through the bumps. Wow. Let's see what happened here. Oh, the 45 all over the back of the 98. Oh. Andrew Teff trying to stay out, and he went back up the track right in front of the leaders. Pandolf goes under him. Garrett Michael gets hit. This is what started it all here. Take a look here. Jump over to Andrew. Nothing he could do there. And then take a look here at Pandolf. He's the 98 coming up the track. Nothing he can do. See what happened here. So we got Eric Dodd, Kirby Wainscott, Garrett Michael, Matt Metler, Terry Fennell, and Alex Teft. Lights are out on the pace car. They're going to get stacked back up here. Eric Dodd chooses the inside as he's going to be the control car here. Kirby Wainscott just to his outside. Wainscott, Metler on the high side, Michael Dodd on the bottom. Pace car's going to make that left-hand turn down pit lane. We'll be back to green flag racing. Over halfway done here in the Daytona Gen 4 Superspeedway Series here at Racers Elite. Dodd with the button as he gets ready to hit that Geico restart zone. Down and away. Up front, it's Wainscott and Dodd side by side. Wainscott has Matt Metler. Metler's been able to push quite a few drivers towards the front here. Metler sees a gap. He makes his move, and he is down to the bottom. Eric Dodd leading it. Garrett Michael. Looks like Wainscott stuck up top all by himself for the moment. We'll see if he's going to be able to try and get down. But Dodd, Michael, and Metler, 1, 2, 3. Brandon Honeycutt got a little incident there, wound up losing the lucky dog as he was trying to avoid calamity there. He is still one lap down, trying to battle back to get that spot back as he bounces off the wall. Face of action, they're taken by, like Andrew Teft went clear down to the apron, trying to avoid contact there. Looks like the 76 is getting a big push there from Pandolf. I don't know if the 76 can stand that push, as Pandolf is one of the faster drivers out on track. He's been towards the front most of the night. Up gets a little bump there. The 76 able to hold it together, but Pandolf is all over that rear bumper. Metler jumps up to the high side, going to try and help. I was going to say try and help the two drivers in front of him, but Garrett Michael and Brandon Honeycutt hooked back up. Swap positions just a little bit, but they were the two drivers who were able to make that bottom side work and pull away from the field, and they are doing it once again here. Garrett Michael is the leader. Matt Mettler is in second, but he is third on the track at the moment. You have Brandon Honeycutt splitting the difference in that 13 machine. Eric Dodd hanging on to third. Terry Fennell and Brian LaPratte back there as well. Andrew Teff go to the high side to the bottom. All over the place, 76, 45, trying to hold that high line, just can't stand it at the moment. 76 hard off the wall, able to keep it off of anybody there, but with that being said, we're going to step aside one more time here. We completed lap 60. We'll be back in a moment. Don't miss anything as we go side by side once again. Welcome back, everybody, to the Racers Elite Super Speedway Series. Didn't miss anything while we were away. Garrett Michael and Matt Mettler still going back and forth. Pandolf was able to get with Mettler, and those two have been pretty fast early, and it looks like the 76 of Paul Hurst almost forced it three wide in the middle. You have the 45 of Robert Juilliard back there, third on the top. He's bouncing all over the track. Was involved in our only caution of the evening. Ooh, the 76 hard off the wall again, coming out of turn number 4. Whoa, slides in front of Andrew Teff. Andrew able to save it here. The 76 was trying to get down and get down in a hurry. He just took the nose right off of that 98 machine. Backup hop high as well here. See what he does coming out of the corner. Bouncing hard off the wall again. Almost sideways into the field again. 76 can't hold it off of the wall coming out of 2 there, hitting really hard. Able to save it before making contact with the inside line, but he is elected to back out of it just a little bit, and he's going to go towards the back here. The other driver of the 45 machine looked like he was about ready to bounce it off the wall as well. That caution did give everybody a chance to come down pit road on lap 52, but we know they can't make it to the end. They have to make at least one pit stop, as the first stop was coming at 34 laps or thereabouts. So we are about 10 laps away from feeling pretty comfortable about making it to the end. But up front, it's still the 63 and the 311. Metler gets a little loose coming through the corner. Pandolf slides up behind him. View from 74 machine. Look back from the 311 machine. Gets that little shove there, and he's going to go to the front. Andrew Teft coming up through the field, trying to get to that lucky dog. Well, he's more than a lap down, so he's got a ways to go here, trying to get that lucky dog spot. Alcetta out here on the front stretch, headed through the tri-oval in front of the leaders. He's stuck in the middle right now. We'll see where he elects to go. Garrett Michael and Matt Metler. Alcetta pulls down, gets down on the apron, and allows the racers to go by here. What happened there? It looked like Wayne Scott tried to pick up just a little bit, but up front it is still Metler and Michael. .313 pushing their way towards the front. Oh, 87 comes down pit lane all by himself. That is definitely not the strategy that you want to make, unless you can find a friend after you make that pit stop. He should be good on fuel, though. As long as the race stays green, we should be good on fuel if anybody stops now. And we don't have any green-white checkers at the end. Metler Pandolf working that high side. Andrew Teff trying to get his lap back to hardware. Ooh, Pandolf hard off the wall, sends Brian LaPratte down the track. Wasn't sure if Pandolf was going to come off there or not. He is all over the back bumper there of that 311 machine. Honeycutt floats up the track just a little bit, almost into Metler. Side by side they went. Brian LaPratte slides down behind Terry Fennell. Are coming back on to some lap traffic. Number 11 there of Chris Blase. He's going to go to the back of the pack here pretty quickly here. Andrew Teff slides up in front of Mettler, going to see if he can get a little push and get his lap back the hard way. If that top line can get moving, Teft, Mettler, and Pandolf. Andrew Teft out to the front here, got one of his laps back. Slides down in front of Garrett Michael. Leaves Mettler and Pandolf on that high side. Pandolf and Michael almost get together there a little bit. Michael's bouncing off the apron just a touch. Coming through 1 and 2, going to hit those bumps and see where they wind up here. Holding it a little bit better there that time. Watching from the stands, this is what you would see-ish. Spectator cam rolling through. Andrew Teft gets a little net code there from, oh, and around they go. Caution is out. Garrett Michael got into the back of Teft just a little bit. Teft went up the track. Got a little bump there from Mettler. Winds up going down through the grass there. Like he was going to be fine. Comes back up on track and collects the 63. See what happened here. A little bump there. Yeah, it looks like just a little. Looks like the 63 machine is done. Everybody coming down pit lane. Brandon Honeycutt looked like he was able to get that lucky dog and make his way. make his way back to the lead lap. Terry Fennell took fuel only to get out here to the front. Yeah, it looks like the 63 just got a little too aggressive there. Gave Andrew a little bump. Caused his back wheels to get loose, slide up the track just a little bit. Andrew was able to keep it. Looked like they were able to keep it off of each other, Metler and F there, but F got sent down the track. 63. Looks like he lost power is what he was saying. So second caution of the evening comes here on lap 74. These guys have made their pit stops, got back in line. I think there's quite a few drivers that are still sitting out here, see if they're going to come down pit lane this time or if they're going to stay out to get that wave around and try and get back on the lead lap here. Looks like they're staying out to get that wave around, so we should be getting ready to go back to green. Mountain Dew machine down on the bottom. Terry Fennell, James Pandoff up to the top. You have Metler and LaPratt. Brandon Honeycutt got his lap back, and he is ready to get to racing here. Minded his time. Now he is back where he wants to be. Back up. 50 Chevy took fuel only to get him to the front. Track position is what he was after, so he is going to be up front. He'll have Matt Metler, one of the better pushers we've seen tonight. But Metler is probably looking to get with that 74 machine as they were working pretty well earlier. Pace car is in. Fennell with the button as they get ready to hit that Geico restart zone, and we are green flag racing here. And it looked like Nicholas Facetta just caught the field as he was getting rolling early here. But Fennell and Metler get a jump, and there they go off into turn number one. Pandoff a little slow there, slides in behind Metler. Brian LaPratt back there as well. Kirby Wainscott up on the high side. Pandoff elects to pull out and go side by side for the lead, and he is going to take the lead away from Fennell here. Side by side, now slides up the track. Forces Pandoff up a little higher, and he will do that one more time. In fact, Fennell is not very comfortable running that bottom line with cars up to his high side. Kind of bouncing around just a little bit. You see a little wiggle there from the 311 as well. Pandoff going to slide down in front of the 50 machine. Brian LaPratt up on the high side. It's going to have Paul Hurst with him up there. Brandon Honeycutt looking to split the difference as he goes three wide in the middle. Gets by the 76, gets behind Brian LaPratt. They worked well together a few weeks ago. We're going to see what they can do now as they are hooked back up here on the high side. LaPratt to the point. Honeycutt slides down in front of Pandolf. LaPratt stays with him. And don't look now, but Pandolf and Metler have hooked up. Metler all over the rear bumper there of Pandolf. They are trying to make that high side work one more time here. Honeycutt gets a little bigger push there from to the back of LaPratt. LaPratt wasn't quite ready for it. Didn't look like his car was not set yet. But they are working well together here as the 76. Paul Hurst goes into that outside wall. Going to keep it up there. Goes in there one more time. Like they are set now. Metler off the wall. So LaPratt, Honeycutt, Pandolf, Fennell, and Metler are the top 5. Kirby Wainscott and Alex Teft up 9 spots, running P7 at the moment. Pandolf fading on that high line. 20 laps to go, 19 when they hit the line. LaPratt with it. Pandolf just took it as they head off into turn number 1. Honeycutt, Pandolf now side by side. Pandolf trying to get a little side draft, start driving up to become even with LaPratt on the bottom. Only 2 drivers are up on the high side, and that is Pandolf and Metler. Metler can't quite hold the same corner that Pandolf is, so that's going to allow the bottom line to start to pull away just a little bit here. Looks like Alex Teft is slowly creeping his way up here as he is closing in on the high side, trying to get to the back bumper of Metler, maybe have a little bit of a run. Oh, and he elects not to. Looks like he pulled out of it and got in on the bottom side, so looks like he might be envisioning something going down here in these final 18 laps. LaPratt, Honeycutt, Pandolf, Metler. Getting them up front most of the night, side-by-side racing. '63 machine of Garrett Michael. Like he lost power, so he is out now. So '63 was one of the strong runners up towards the front as well. So it is going to be decided amongst these drivers here. 17 laps to go. LaPratt taking it out to a car length and a half, almost 2. And then Pandolf battles back as they head down that backstretch run. Pandolf, Metler, LaPratt, Honeycutt. Barry Fennell looking to play spoiler, running back in P5. You also have Kirby Wainscott back there. Wainscott looking for a couple podiums in a row here in the Superspeedway Series. Andrew Blasi, all these drivers that didn't pit under that last caution are going to have to come in. kind of hoping for another quick little caution. Just couldn't envision one happening or speak it into fruition here. Pandolf and LaPratt still battling hot and heavy here on the front end. Pandolf with the lead just a little bit. These two drivers on the high line have been able to work really well together. James Pandolf and Matt Metler. They're the only two drivers up there. The bottom side, if they could get another driver hooked up and get close enough there, they might be able to pull away as LaPratt slides up the track, gets a little contact there with Pandolf. Nothing really happened there. It's one of those things when you come through the corner and you hit those bumps, you kind of slide up the track just enough. But that's going to allow the bottom side to slowly start to pull away just a little bit. We'll see if Pandolf's going to stay up there with Metler, and he will do just that for now. DeBlasi trying to come into the track, and that could have been disaster there for Brandon Honeycutt. Luckily, Honeycutt saw the 11 come in, and he elected to try and go to the middle. Metler went up the track as well, so lucky for Chris Blasi, he did not cause chaos there with these race leaders. Andrew Teff staying down on the bottom. If he's going to slide up and try and help brother Alex get up here inside these top six. Not enough speed there, and wow, amazing driving there from Honeycutt. Matt Metler almost wrecked Honeycutt there. Kirby Wainscott takes advantage as he goes into the middle. So that could have been bad for that 13 machine, as he has avoided chaos once again. He kind of got caught in it on that first caution as he was a lap down after making the pit stop. Didn't have the great one, had a penalty he had to handle. Was in the lucky dog spot, and it looked like he brushed the wall, so he got a couple points as he was trying to avoid the accident in front of him. So he did not get the lucky dog that time. He had to wait until about 15 laps ago to get the lucky dog. Winds up inside the top six here, and then just about got hip checked out into the infield. But like I said, tonight we are going to have a new winner. And it won't rhyme with Hensley or Kinsley, as both of those drivers are not here tonight. Billy Hensley won the first race of the season and then won last week at Atlanta, and then between that, Kinsley Smith was able to bring home the win, but neither driver's here tonight, so we will have a new winner, and these guys are battling it out. James Pandolf looking to make his debut here in the Racers Elite Super Speedway Series, a winning one. Brian LaPratt has been running well week in and week out, and he would love to see himself bring home the victory here tonight as well. Matt Metler had a couple podiums, so he's looking to do more of the same. Kirby Wainscott looking for 2 podiums in a row, and Brandon Honeycutt just looking for that lucky horseshoe, because he just seems to be in all the wrong places. Him and Andrew Teft this race have just found themselves in not the right place and not where you want to be here. Matt Metler gets a little loose coming through the tri-oval, almost into the wall, almost got ran up on the back bumper with Terry Fennell closing in pretty quickly. Alex Teft moves up into 6th on the bottom. We got Nicholas Falsetta out here in front. He should go down to the inside, allow the leaders to roll on through, and Brian LaPratt got stuck in the sucker hole as he is going backwards and backwards in a hurry. He'll slide up. It looked like he was trying to slide up to the high line. He did not. He stayed down on the bottom. But now Kirby Wainscott to the point. Brandon Honeycutt giving that number 10 machine a shove out to the lead. And Wainscott looking to improve his podium positions here this week. 8 laps to go here at Daytona. And we are getting ready to turn up the action here on Sim Racing Media. Kirby Wainscott has Brandon Honeycutt pushing him there. James Pandoff, Matt Metler have been hooked up most of the race. Usually in this form as well, as Metler has been one of the drivers to be able to push here. Not quite as well when he's in the front, but Pandoff has been able to stay almost even here with Kirby Wainscott. And as the leaders come through, it looks like they're closing quickly on a couple lap cars as well. We'll see how that plays into the race here. Take a view off the nose of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Wow. And they got about half a corner up ahead, and that's going to be Paul Hurst up there. See who else is going to be up there as well. Whoa! Honeycutt just got loose. Caution didn't come out as they are off the racing surface, it looks like. Kirby Wainscott now has over a second lead. Let's see if we can take a look, see what happened here with Brandon Honeycutt. Oh! Came down, and the 101 just tagged him just a little bit. Now the 101 just gets into the rear bumper there of the 13. 13 gathers it in. Slides up the track, though, and hits Pandoff. Matt Metler able to get by. Alex Teft into the back of the 101 off the 50 as well. But no caution came out. And Kirby Wainscott is gifted here on the handshake lap. He's got a 2.5 second lead now as he is starting to draft here with Paul Hurst and Robert Juillard here. Goes to the high side. 4 to go. What happens back here? Everybody's still strung out. Wainscott slides in behind. 4 to go, 3 to go at the line for Kirby Wainscott. Oh, almost gets to the inside of that 76. 76 is not running or holding the greatest line as the 10 started to get a little bit of a run. He's still got 3.5 seconds. He does not need to pass these guys. He can kind of slow down and just kind of hit his marks here. 3 to go. Kirby Wainscott, Matt Metler, Barry Fennell might be the only race really on track here. See who's going to get P2, but that probably is going to be our podium here. Popsicle sticks in the air for Kirby Wayne Scott as he gets ready to take 2 to go here. The view from the back here of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle machine. Nobody around. Has over a 4-second gap. The only thing that could derail Kirby Wayne Scott is if one of those yellow flags come out. And he is getting to the part where it isn't going to matter here. Kirby Wayne Scott's going to take that white flag, and this race is going to be official here. Wayne Scott with a 4.5-second lead coming through 1 and 2 on the final lap of the Daytona Superspeedway race here. Looks like Brandon Honeycutt might, might slide in behind and just help him. Coming through the bumps for the final time, headed through the tri-oval. Kirby Wayne Scott is going to win at Daytona. See what the race is going to be for second. Looks like Mettler and Fennell are going to wind up 2 and 3. Alex Teft coming through, going to wind up P4. And James Pandolf is going to come through P5. Kirby Wayne Scott with the victory here tonight. And I know he's probably going to say something to the effect of, that's not how you want to win a race, but I think he'd take that over the way Austin Dillon won. But, you know, we'll see what he says once we get these guys up here in the booth. Burn it down for a minute, and then we'll grab our podium finishers here. Hey Terry, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going? Good. Hey, that was a heck of a race. A little incidents there at the end, but overall, you guys put on a heck of a show here. How was it racing out there in this older 2008 style Daytona?
It's kind of rough, especially at the bottom. But it like the other guy said, man, can't hardly feel my hands. But I enjoyed it. That was a good race. Everybody was clean there, except for the end there. Got a little front end damage. I couldn't help Matt get on up there and catch Kirby, but all in all, that was a fun race. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that last little incident there, if that would have brought out the caution, that could have reset everybody and had a heck of a finish. But nonetheless, you guys were able to still work together and get up here and get a podium finish. How do you feel after this 2 weeks off when you head to Talladega in the 87s?
I don't too much. I can't say I don't like them. I ain't drove much of them, but I know tonight helped me out some of the points. So I'm gonna have to just do some practicing, and hopefully we'll get there.
Definitely, man. Well, anybody want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Just want to thank my wife and my kid, and for letting me do what I enjoy.
Definitely, Matt. Well, congrats again on your P3 finish, and maybe we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
I hope so, man. I sure do appreciate it.
Anytime. All right, that was P2. Let's see if we can get Mettler up here in the booth. Hey, Matt, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Well, I'm starting to regain feeling in my forearms, fingers, and other extremities. That was sweating to the oldies on an all new level. That was absolutely intense. I can't tell you how many times I could have, should have, could have, would have wrecked JP Pandal from DRL. What was I thinking? Bring him in here. But, without him, I probably wouldn't have finished where I did. Trying to hang on behind him or in front of him, it is not easy. And I still can't feel my fingers, to be quite honest with you. I am sick about that net code that I had with Andrew Teft in the 98 when we were up front side-by-side side draft, and I hated to see that for him. But as much as agony as my hands are in right now, that was so much fun. I don't think I've ever had plate racing quite like that, where just every single lap that track is putting you through the gauntlet.
Yeah. Yes. As soon as I saw it was 2008, I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. Everybody bouncing around through those bumps.
Yeah, those bumps. I think you sometimes you forget just how bad they are. And then these cars have a tendency to kind of yaw and wobble and do their own thing too. I have no idea how I survived that. Got to shout out Andrew Teff for putting this awesome series together. You guys for broadcasting. Really want to thank JP coming over and racing here. Kind of a throwback to DRL, what they did in Gen 4. That was a lot of fun. Those guys used to put on a heck of a show. But, hey, third race here in the series. We got a third, a fourth, and a second. And for me, that is by far the best I've ever come out of the hole in any league in my iRacing career. Now we're just chasing that elusive win, but I'm just thankful to be alive, and I'll worry how I got second later.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again, and maybe we'll talk to you when we get to the 87s in Talladega.
Oh, now that's going to be rowdy.
Oh, yeah, I know. Those ones are definitely going to be fun.
Yeah, you guys might want to get some extra sleep before that one kicks off. But I'll shout out, obviously, you guys for doing the broadcast again. Team Watson Racing Setups, Black Magic, and anyone that may have been cheering for me or hanging with their jaw wide open, they couldn't believe I was actually up front in this thing, that may have stopped by the stream. You guys have a great night, and I am going to go lay down and take a nap and process this.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again, and I'll talk to you later.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Yep. All right, now let's get to the race winner of the evening. Kirby Wainscott here. Hey, Kirby, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Well, I know it's probably not the way you envisioned winning a race here at Daytona, but that was a heck of a run there at the end. You were able to avoid calamity and be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I kind of thought I was out of it with about 30 to go or so. There was a little bit of checkup in the back, and I got ran into and lost the draft, and I was just running around hoping for a caution and got one, and thankfully I took advantage of it.
Yeah, a couple podiums in a row. We take a couple weeks off, and then we go to Talladega in the 87s. How are you feeling about that one?
Probably about the same way I felt about this one. I didn't know what to expect. I got a little bit of practice in, and I have a whole lot of respect for the guys that used to race these cars, and I mean, I guess that's why they're professionals when they were doing 3 wide, because it was hard enough doing 2 wide because I was there on the bottom, and I had Honeycutt behind me, and going 200 miles an hour, filling those bumps. That's it's not pleasant, but it was a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Definitely not the way I wanted to win the race, but I'll take it.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on the win. Anybody you want to thank for the victory tonight before we get you out of here?
I just want to thank you guys. You and the whole SRM team do an amazing job. Like I love racing these races, and then I love going back and watching the broadcast too. Even when I don't do so well, it's always an enjoyable. You guys do a great job, and of course my teammates and boss man Andrew. He works really hard to put this stuff together, and we all appreciate everything he does.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, well, congrats on your victory, and we'll see you in a couple weeks, maybe in the 87s.
Yeah, I will be there. Thank you, sir.
All right, later, man.
Later.
All right, so that will do it for the interview portion. Let's go ahead and take a quick gander here at the race results. Herbie Wainscott with the victory. Matt Metler, Terry Fennell, 1, 2, 3. Alex Teft battling back for a P4. James Pandolf, Eric Dodd up there with 5 and 6. You got Paul Hurst, Brandon Honeycutt coming back from a lap down to finish P8. Brian LaPratte, Chris Blase, Robert Gillard. Then you have Andrew Teft, Nicholas Falsetta, Garrett, Michael, Richard Ode, and Truth Hope did not start. He did qualify, though, but he did not start, so that's going to be the field for tonight. But we'll take a couple weeks off. These guys will put on a Firecracker 250 next Saturday. So if you guys want any info or anything on that, just go ahead and leave a comment or go look up racerselite.com, and they'll get you hooked up here. But take a couple weeks off, have a nice little holiday break. Then they are going to get put to the test in the 87s at Talladega. Don't forget, all of the other series they run Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are all going to start the playoffs here. But from all the drivers of the Racers Elite Super Speedway Series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night, and I will see you next time.